kind of space I want to talk about today is something that I've termed the recovered moment. And it's a moment that can be, I think, facilitated by both art therapists and music therapists for service users living with dementia. I want to first of all put this into a context. I'm the manager of a new recovery-focused arts therapies service, and our ethos is to bring together the arts and arts therapies to support the service user involvement in actually arts and arts therapies. We want service users to experience the health benefits of the arts, to support their recovery journeys, to promote mindfulness and positive outlooks for social inclusion, and to engage in meaningful creative experiences for self-expression in the present moment. This is a very different way of working as arts therapists. Previously, as arts therapists, we were quite separate to the arts, and we were quite exclusive, but we're becoming more accessible, I think, in the new way of working. This is just a plan just to give you an idea of the pathways we cover. We cover 5 pathways, but I'm going to concentrate, the pathways stretch over older people's, adults and children's services in CPFT, but I'm just going to concentrate, as I said, on the dementia pathway today. And we have 2 main modalities working in the arts therapy services. They are music therapy and art therapy. In the past, these therapies used to function as the therapist, as very as really the person who was informing the patient. Now we're working in a more collaborative way with service users. We're working with co-production, and we're working together, fusing music therapy and art therapy, and fusing the arts therapies with the arts. This slide was created by a peer support worker who worked with me, who's used music as a wellness tool for himself. And he created this slide to represent the fusion between music and art. And we ran a group together for adults recently, and I was very inspired to work with him in the group. Just moving on now to focus in on the recovered moment that I've really found when working with service users on the dementia pathway with art therapy and music therapy. This moment that I'm terming the recovered moment is a moment where I think recovery can be found rather than, because for people with dementia, they can't necessarily look to the future or talk about the past or remember. But if you can find a moment where you can really be together, where there's a communication, that is a recovered moment, what I'm trying to call the recovered moment. And music therapists and art therapists actually create that moment for the service user through non-verbal means of communication, like music or art. And by doing that, the service user is able to actually take the lead in the interaction rather than being told what to do. They can actually lead the moment. I just wanted to give you an example, actually, of a session that I did with a lady who was very aggressive, very isolated, and wouldn't come into the session until I was able to communicate to her non-verbally. As an art therapist, I would use art, but she wasn't interested in art. I tried to use objects. She wasn't interested much in the objects. So as an art therapist, we actually ended up singing together. And the thing that she wanted to sing was the word jolly. So together, we ended up singing jolly to a crescendo together. And after that, she came back to the sessions every time and was no longer aggressive and no longer isolated. So that's what I'm trying to describe as the recovered moment. there's a lot of evidence to support music and art therapy. I just wanted to talk a bit about something that's been written by Crystal Eschman, which is really describing the fact that in the brain, when somebody has Alzheimer's, not all the areas of the brain are necessarily affected by the dementia, and some can remain intact. So that's why if we offer creative activities, someone might come alive through these creative activities and be able to communicate more. There's also evidence to show that creative activities stimulate and encourage a healthy brain when somebody's living with dementia. So it's also useful for that reason. Just to say, we've got a lot of groups happening at the moment, and one group that's running is a drumming and dementia group on one of the dementia wards, and that's with a musician and with one of our art therapists. And we've also got groups running in the north, which are arts, crafts and music groups, music and art therapy groups. And in the future, we're hoping to have music therapy on the dementia wards north and south, and a lot of projects in the community for arts therapies along the dementia pathway as well. So watch this space, because we're growing and we're thinking of new projects all the time. Thank you.
Thank you, Kimberley.